So the formula for compound interest is A equals the principal, 1 plus R over N raised to the N times T. P stands for the principal, that's your beginning amount. R is your rate, that's your percent. Remember, we always write percent as a decimal. N is the number of times a year it's compounded. So that's when we say if it's annually, N would be 1, semi-annually, N is 2, quarterly, that would be 4, daily, 365, those are your N. So in your word problem, it'll tell you if it's compounded quarterly, annually, that's what your N is. And T is always time in years. So let's look at your first example. It says Laura deposited $12,000 into account that earns 8% interest. How much money will she have in 5 years if the interest is compounded quarterly? So this lets us know that we use this formula. If it says compounded continuously, we use PERT. But compounded quarterly, that means we have an end. How many times a year is quarterly? 4. So now the principal is 12,000. 1 plus the rate is 0.08 over N is 4 raised to 4 times time is 5. So this one's pretty basic. And so you take your calculator and we can just type it in just like we see it. So 12,000 parentheses 1 plus 0.08 divided by 4, close the parentheses and raise it. I'm just going to go ahead and say 4 times 5 is 20 and put raised to the 20th. And that's what you should get. So go ahead and try on your calculator, make sure you're using everything correctly. And that's rounded to the nearest cent. All right, let's look at number 6. Jack took out a 6-year loan for $25,000 to purchase a boat at a 4.5% interest rate. If the interest is compounded monthly, how many times a year is that? 12, because there's 12 months in a year. What will he have paid total for the course of the loan? So the principal is $25,000, 1 plus the rate over the N, and then N times, and it was for 6 years. So go ahead and put that in your calculator. Okay, any questions? All right, now I'm going to change this up because all of these are just solving for A. So this one, I'm going to show you how to solve for T. So I'm just going to make up a problem. Oh. That's it.
And then those from first hour.
I wanted 120 copies.
Oops. Is that
I probably
one?
didn't do it right.
Is that one copy? Oops.
I'm sorry, we want to make that T equals, let's say we want it to be 900. Okay, so let's say the scenario given is you're gonna put $450 at 3% interest, compounded semi-annually. How long will it take for it to reach $900? Okay? This is an exponential equation because your variable is in the exponent. Okay? So let's kind of clean this up a bit. This, what's in parentheses, I can go ahead and evaluate that. And that gives us 1.015 raised to the 2t equals 900. Now, so let's get that note card out we made. In order to solve an exponential equation, we want to isolate the base and the exponent. So that means we need to divide both sides by 450. So now we have 1.015 to the 2t power equals 2. So the next step is change to log form and then solve. So that would be log of base 1.015 of 2 equals 2t. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in our calculator. Remember, you have to put log of 2 divided by log of 1.015. And this is what you get. And then to solve for t, we divide both sides by 2. So if we divide by 2, we get approximately 23 years. But to make 900, remember years, you have to round up, so it would take 24 years. Because 23 years won't cut it, basically. So around 24 years. All right, let me give you another scenario. This time we're going to solve for the principal. So let's say I give you 800 equals P1 plus 0.0212 raised to 12 times 5. So this scenario is, what do you need to invest in order for interest to be 2% compounded monthly in 5 years to get $800? So is this an exponential equation? No, why is it not? That's right. This is going to be just linear, two-step equation. What we do is we can put this in our calculator, right? So P times whatever that is. So let's take parentheses 1 plus 0.02 divided by 12 and raise it. 12 times 5 is 60. And we get this answer right here. Now, if I ask you to round to the nearest penny, you can't round up to 1.1. You're going to be off a lot, okay? Like you could be off 30 cents, 40 cents. I know to you that may not seem a lot, but when you're looking for as close to exact value, that's a big difference. So then you would divide both sides by that number, correct? So let me show you how to use your calculator if you really don't want to type up all these digits. So if that's the last answer you put in there, just watch me and try it. And if you don't remember, then you just have to type all those numbers in. So you take 800, then you hit divide. And if you hit second, and then this negative key has answer A and S, what that means is it puts in that place the last answer you have up there. And if you press equals, that's what you get. You hit second, and then answer. It's the negative key at the bottom next to the decimal point. It's written in blue. And so let me show you. If you take 800 divided by, and I type all that number in, 1.105078927, you get the same number. Now let me show you what happens if you round it to 1.1. If you take 800 divided by 1.1, do you see how off that is? That's why you can't round it to the nearest tens when you're talking about money. So the answer is 723.93.